usually tell ourselves that motivation is the key to achieving our goals. You might have that big project staring at you in the face, but you feel the need to be motivated before you can even start. Or you probably started the project and stopped halfway because you no longer felt the motivation to continue. We tend to have a really toxic relationship with motivation where you're good today and tomorrow you're at your lowest point, to the point that you can't even get yourself out of the couch. But deep down, you feel you can't do anything without motivation, so you make up and you continue the cycle. But what if we had the idea of motivation all wrong? And motivation only fluctuates because we do not really understand how it works, and it treats us the way it does because it only wants to be understood. That's one of the reasons why we actually start that gym membership with so much enthusiasm, and after about a week you can't find that same motivation that got you started in the first place. Most times we tend to see motivation as that spark that we need to get the whole engine running, and we also see it as the fuel to keep things moving. But that way of looking at motivation would only lead us to more ups and downs and more of the same toxicity that doesn't help us in the long term. So how should we actually look at motivation? Now in this video, I'll be sharing with you a mental model that I use that can help you if you are really keen on getting your motivation levels right. Now this model involves 4 things: the spark, the wood, the fuel, and the fire. Now first of all, what is the spark? Most times we tend to see motivation as the genesis of any endeavor, but that's one of the biggest mistakes we can make. Now don't get me wrong, you can actually use motivation as your spark to start a goal. You can actually spend hours watching David Goggins to give you that spark to get started on your essay, but that's just cheap motivation, and it honestly won't last very long. Eventually it wears out and you're back to where you started again, looking for that next high to get you to do the things that you really need to do. Now, the spark I'm talking about is a healthy kind of spark, and that is by taking action on the thing itself. I'm sure you're probably like, wait, the problem is that I can't start because I lack motivation in the first place. Hear me out for a second. The reason why you haven't started is not because you lack motivation, but because you are looking at the task in the wrong way. Most times when we see that textbook, actually see the 3 hours that is going to be needed to complete that topic, and every time we look at that empty Word document, we see the hours and hours that we're going to spend racking our brains just to come up with that introductory paragraph. But the best way to actually look at that task is to reduce it to its smallest form. Instead of looking at that book as 3 hours that you're going to spend, look at it as just 5 minutes of reading just a couple of sentences. Or instead of looking at that blank page as hours of racking your head to figure out what to say, you can just look at it as 10 minutes of typing out sentences that are fairly logical together. Because the most healthy spark for any activity is the spark that you get while doing the activity itself. Now that you've gotten yourself to start, what next? Now that leads us to the next point, which is the wood. Now, wood is not as temporary as a spark that just lasts for a few seconds. Wood is much more durable and enduring. Now, in this case, your wood are your habits around the thing that you want to accomplish. If you are looking to study for an exam or write a 20-page essay, depending on motivation or that spark will not really get you a long way. You need something more durable, which are your habits around the thing you want to accomplish. The whole point of actually getting the spark in the first place is to get you to create the habits of actually doing the thing that you want to do. Just 15 to 10 minutes will actually go a long way. And honestly, most times you might actually find yourself spending a lot more than 15 to 10 minutes when you combine the other ingredients that we're going to use for this inferno that we're cooking. Which leads us to the next step, which is your fuel. Now, for a fire to keep on burning for a long time and to look alive, it needs fuel. Now, in this case, your fuel are your goals. Your desire to get what you want is what will fuel you to keep going when your muscles are sore at the gym, to keep you writing when your butt hurts from sitting too long, to keep you reading when you're way past your bedtime. Your goals and your why for your goals are what will get you through the going when the going gets tough, the fire. Now, this is where motivation comes into play. Motivation is not a start, but motivation comes as a result of doing these things well. And motivation can only remain and burn for longer with these ingredients in place. Otherwise, it will just turn to that temporary thing that is hot once in a while, only to be snuffed out once again. If you really want to go deeper into this topic of motivation, I'll recommend the book, The Motivation Myth. It's a really good read, and it's going to give you a deeper understanding of what motivation really is. And guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe if you want to get more content like this, and I think you're going to really enjoy this video. And like always, guys, remember to always keep it real. Bye, guys, and don't forget to click on the video.